Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Timothy, and on this channel we speak everything personal finance. In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 different high yield savings accounts that you can use today in 2024. And these high yield savings account rates are correct as of November 2024. So whether you plan on building up an emergency fund, save for a house, or just saving in general, you're going to want to be ready and listen up for these 6 high yield savings accounts that you should be using so you can really boost your savings. But first, before I talk about these high yield savings accounts, I want you to know why savings is important. So if you're not saving your money right now, you need to stop spending all of your money and start saving a good portion. Now, we recommend that you save about 20% of your income, especially in times like it is today, where there's a lot of uncertainty in some people's finances and a lot of turnover. So you want to be sure that you're saving a good amount of your money. And to be honest, having money saved for a rainy day will be a lifesaver for you and really help you feel more secure financially. Now, it's important to save, but it's also super important to put this money to high yield saving accounts. Now, these high yield saving accounts are very different than a normal saving account because they have these yields that are basically 4 to 5%, but a lot of times these normal savings accounts have rates that aren't even 1%. So you really want to stick to these high yield savings accounts, because why not gain more money on top of the money that you already have in your savings account? So if you want your savings to grow faster, you're going to really want to open up a high yield savings account. Now, how do you want to structure these high yield savings accounts? So you want to structure these high yield savings accounts with, maybe you have one high yield savings account could be for emergency fund, and then you can have another high yield savings account that's for your car fund, or you can have another high yield savings account that's for your house fund, or you can have a house and a car fund. You can really break these savings accounts up so you don't have all your money sitting in one basket. It just kind of makes it easier to break up, but I mean, it's really all the same to keep all your money in the high yield savings account. Some of these accounts I'm going to talk about have buckets where you can have all the money in the savings account, but then you have separate buckets within that savings account. So you have a house bucket, you have a car bucket, and you have a vacation bucket, all within the same account. It's more of a mental thing that will help you get to your saving goal. And then one thing super important when it comes to saving account is that a lot of times you might not want to dip into it because you could be saving for a longer term goal, and by you dipping into your savings account, it's just going to extend the length of that goal, and it's going to extend the amount of time that you're going to be able to accomplish that goal. So one thing you might want to look for in a high yield savings account is an account where you can open a savings account only and not the checking account. So you don't want to open a checking account with some of these high yield savings accounts, because then you have a debit card. You can easily transfer the money from your savings account to the debit card and then go spending on the debit card. This is something that I was doing. I had my savings account debit card in my wallet, so when I go to a store, I buy something for $100 or something, I'll say, hell, I have, $10,000 in my savings account. I'll just go ahead and spend it. It's just $100. And before you know it, you're spending $500 to $1,000 from your savings account. So I do have a debit card for my savings account, but I leave it at home. I don't even touch it. I leave it in a separate wallet in my house. So for some of these savings accounts, you can go and not get the debit card, so that money can really be locked in. And if you want to get that money to your checking account, you can always set up a way to transfer the money from your savings account to your separate checking account outside of the savings account you're using. So just keeping your savings separate can help you from the temptation of spending it. Now, the first high yield savings account that we're going to talk about is Barclays. So Barclays has a 4.5% yield on their savings accounts. Barclays is the account that I actually use to this day. It's where we put a lot of our rental income. One thing I love about Barclays is that you can open up multiple savings accounts, and I'm pretty sure you could probably do this with a couple more accounts, but you can open up multiple high yield savings accounts with Barclays. So for example, we have one rental property, and that rental property has its own high yield savings account in Barclays. And then we have the house that we're living in, the house hack, and this house hack has its own high yield savings account. And then we have the cash flow that has its own high yield savings account. The security deposit has its own high yield savings account. Barclays is really good because you can have multiple savings accounts all in that one app. And also with the Barclays, I don't have a debit card, so I can't just go and grab my debit card and spend on it. But one thing that I do, if I do need to spend from my Barclays account, say I have a toilet leak or whatever kind of leak at one of the rental properties, I can use my credit card, and then at the end of the month, I pay off my credit card with the account that's correlated with that house in the Barclays account. So if unit 1 has a leak in the toilet and it's $200 to fix, pay $200 on my credit card, and then I transfer $200 from the unit 1 savings account in Barclays to that credit card, and then I end up paying it off. You can even do this for emergencies. You don't have to have a debit card for your emergency fund. You can just pay whatever the amount is with your credit card, and be sure to have that amount in your high yield savings account. And then once the month is up, or whenever your credit credit card is due. So just use the money from that savings account to pay off that credit card. So you really don't need a debit card for these savings accounts. You can use your credit card. If you're not good with credit cards, if you're not a credit card person, don't worry about it. Get a debit card to pair up with your savings account so you can have that money accessible. And one thing about all these savings accounts I'm going to be listing, they have no fees because I'm not paying fees to put my money into an account. I want that account paying me. I don't want to be paying them to put money into their account. So next is the Capital One 360 High Performance Savings Account. This has an APY of about 4%, and this is something that I use as well. Capital One is one of my favorite accounts. I didn't even know they had a high yield savings account until very recently. So with Capital One, you can also have many different accounts. I'm not sure if you can have multiple high yield savings accounts, but you can have many different checkings accounts and many different normal savings accounts within Capital One. Capital One is a great platform to use. It's one of my main banking platforms. It's a very smooth app, and that's one thing that I really want to have, especially when logging into these high yield savings accounts and navigating the interface. I want to have a smooth app. I want to have easy access to the app. I want to put my face in front of my phone and it scans in and I'm into my high yield savings account. So I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing what's taken out. I'm seeing what's put in. Really, you just want to have a smooth app. And I think Capital One is one of the best apps out there. And it's always updating, always changing, and making sure they have the best platform to be saving money with. Also, Capital One has one of the best credit cards out there, the Venture Card. They have two different Venture cards, one that has an annual fee and one that doesn't have an annual fee. We actually had the one that had the annual fee, got the bonus, and then we downgraded to, I think it was a Saver card. So that one doesn't have an annual fee. We got what we needed out of the, I think it's the Venture X or whichever Venture card has the $90 fee. We got what we needed out of that and we got out of it. So Capital One just has a lot of different products that they can offer you. So look into Capital One as a high yield savings account, but also as a main banking account. So then we have SoFi checking and savings account. SoFi has a high yield savings account offering a 4.2 APY on their savings. While I don't personally use SoFi's high yield savings account, I do use their platform to track my net worth. They have a very fluid platform, a very fluid app where I go in about once a month, maybe a little bit more, to just check to see where my net worth is going, update some numbers, and connect all my accounts to SoFi so I can see where my net worth is raising and where it's lowering. So I can see all my student loans in there, I can see all my other accounts in there, and just seeing where my net worth is stacking up. It's really great to just see the big picture with your finances, especially when it comes to tracking your net worth. And again, this is a no fee account like all the other accounts I'm going to be talking about, because why would I pay a fee on an account that I put my money in? It just makes no sense to me. And the fourth high yield savings account that we're talking about is Everbank Performance Savings. Now, Everbank Performance Savings has an APY of about 4.75%. Now, this is one of the higher APYs that we're going to be talking about at 4.75. I personally don't have an Everbank, but at a 4.75% APY, I should be considering changing my high yield savings accounts to Everbank. That's almost at a 5%, and the S&P 500 gets a return of about 7%. So consider Everbank. It seems like a great platform that you can use, especially with that 4.75% return on your money. And number 5, you have the Citibank Platinum Savings account. So this account has an APY of about 4.7%, which is really good. But there's one caveat with this savings account, is that you need to have a minimum of $5,000 in this account. So if you're able to maintain a balance of $5,000 within this account, this could be a great choice for you. Now, if you don't care for the 4.7%, now if you don't have $5,000 that you can keep within an account, then just go with the Capital One. Just go with the more simpler accounts that you don't have to have a minimum, especially with interest rates dropping. So having a 4.7 APY on your savings account in this time is really good. And last but definitely not least, we have Ally Bank with a 4.25 APY. Now, I love Ally because they have these buckets have different categories. So say you have $10,000 into your account and you have $3,000 into the home bucket, and you can even set maximums on this bucket, and it shows the percentages as you add money to this account. So you can have $3,000 to the house bucket, and then you can have $3,000 into the car bucket, and then you can have $3,000 into the vacation bucket, and then you can have $1,000 for your emergency fund, or however you want to align things up. But you can have different buckets within the high yield savings account. Now, these are not different high yield savings accounts, but they are just different buckets within the same account. And also with the Ally platform, it's super smooth, super fluid. I never really have any issues logging into Ally. I don't have any issues just navigating the page. Like I said, I want a smooth and steady platform for my high yield savings account. I don't want any glitches. I just want to log in, check my money to make sure it's still there. I want to check my money to make sure it still has that good APY and get out. So you can look into having Ally Bank as one of your main high yield savings accounts. Now, to put in perspective of how important high yield savings accounts are and how much money you can actually gain from them, because you might think that having 4.75% or 4% APY on your money is not that big of a deal compared to 0.45% APY on a normal savings account. But I want to give you an example of how much money you can actually build into a savings account based off the APY that it's giving you. So say you have $10,000 in a savings account that's giving you 0.45% APY on your money. So after 1 year, you're going to gain $45 in interest. Now compared to $10,000 in a high yield savings account that gives you 4.5% APY on your money, after 1 year, you're going to have $450. That is a huge difference just because you put your money into a high yield savings account. Now throughout the year, the percentages might change. You're not locked in for the return on your money with the high yield savings account. That would be more for a CD. With high yield savings account, they can change or month to month. So for example, my Barclays high yield savings account started at 5% and now it's already down to 4.5, and I think it's even lower than that, to be honest with you. Now, one thing you might have noticed that these APYs are just very different. You have some at the low 4s, you have some closer to the 5s. Now, one thing you don't really want to stress about is having the highest percentage at all times. The difference between 4% APY to 4.75% APY is a few dollars. It's really not much. It's nothing to really stress over. Just get something that's over 4 at least. A high yield savings account is not something you invest in. It's not an investment. This is just a place that you can park your money just so you can get a little bit extra money on the side. So it can just grow and hopefully get you to your goal faster. But one of the more important things that you want to do is continually invest and save. So you want to save into these high yield savings accounts, but you also want to be sure to invest more money into the market using platforms like Fidelity or Charles Schwab, and investing into the S&P 500, investing into stocks that you believe that will grow. This is more important than just rate shopping. Just get a high yield savings account that has over 4%, because there's a lot of high yield savings accounts out there that give you 4% or more. And one of the most important things about money is to have it working for you. So put money into your high yield savings account, but also put money into your investments. The high yield savings account is not an investment. It is just a place that you can park your money. So there you have it, my top 6 high yield savings accounts for November of 2024. Whether you're building an emergency fund or saving for a house or saving for a car, you can always just park your money to a high yield savings account and watch it grow without you even doing anything. Just remember that one of the most important things is to consistently and continually to invest. So set up automatic payments from your checkings account or set up automatic payments straight from your paycheck to go to your high yield savings account every month so you can reach your goals. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you using any of these high yield savings accounts? And if you're not using these high yield savings accounts, what kind of savings account are you using? What kind of high yield savings accounts are you using? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more money tips. And I'll see you guys in the next video.